Alrighty, so in this video, we're going to be going through the fourth way that we should be engineering our prompt so that we can get the most out of ChatGPT. So the fourth point of prompt engineering is the way in which you ask your questions. So asking your questions in a certain way, understanding what the circumstance is, what your desired outcome is, what you would like as a response from ChatGPT, and then being able to tailor your prompt to achieve that is super important. Now, depending on what response you want, you will go for either an abstract or a very concrete and precise prompt. So if I want ChatGPT to be a lot more creative and give me more of an open-ended response, I will be a lot more abstract. So now, as an example, if I was to jump into ChatGPT and put in the prompt, write a short story about the relationship between a person and their dog. Now that's super abstract, and what it's going to do is put together a story just given those two bits of information. But if I want a story to be very specific, I have a plot in mind and I want it to focus around that storyline, what I would do is, like we mentioned in a previous episode, we would actually give ChatGPT a bit of background, some context, and expect it to generate the story around that. So an example of a concrete prompt would be something like this. Describe a day in the life of a golden retriever named Max. Max is a 3-year-old friendly dog who loves going on runs and playing fetch in the park. He lives with his owner, a young woman named Emily, in a small apartment in the city. Now, if I hit enter on this, I can expect ChatGPT to give exactly that. Now, this is a great example for where ChatGPT can go wrong if you are not specific. Take note of this. When you provide a concrete, very specific prompt to ChatGPT, you are going to get a very specific answer. I asked ChatGPT to describe a day in the life of, and it did exactly that. It starts with a typical day in the life of, and it continues from there. So if I explicitly wanted it to give me a story, I would ask ChatGPT to do that. And instead of saying describe a day in the life of, I would say write a story about. And now the response is completely different. So you'll notice in the first one, it was very structured, started with the morning, a quick breakfast, a run, afternoon, evening, and dinner, and then finally at around 10 p.m. So it structures it as a day in the life. But now once I said I want it to be a story, it'll still give me a structured response, but it's more with the flow of a narrative. So from this, we can see the outcome of providing ChatGPT with a very abstract or a very concrete and specific prompt. And this helps us make a decision as to what we want to ask ChatGPT depending on what we expect from the response. So make sure you know when you want ChatGPT to be a lot more creative, you provide a lot more of an abstract prompt. And if you want something very specific, give ChatGPT a very concrete prompt. And with that, we will move into the next point, which is experimentation.